A warm welcome to you all on behalf of Rotary Club Panaji Riviera. I'm your host, Dr. Owen Fonseca. Third wave COVID-19 in India. We are going to be unlocking in a phased manner. The schools are going to reopen. We are going to party again and live happily ever after. Well, it is not going to happen, is it? There's always a plot twist in any nightmare story. Today, we have a very special guest, Dr. Sandeep Kenkre, with whom we are going to share some views and grill him a little bit on what his point of view is on the future of COVID-19 in India. This live stream is going out on Facebook, YouTube. So if you are on any of these platforms, do click the like button. Give me your questions and comments and share your views in the comment section. Let us know what you are thinking. If you are watching this live on Facebook, hashtag live. If you're watching it on replay, hashtag replay. So, a little bit of an introduction on Dr. Sandeep Kenkre. It is not like he requires an introduction for most people. But let's keep it a little bit short. He's got quite a long resume. But I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Dr. Sandeep Kenkre is an MD obstetrics gynecology. He's the proprietor of Kampal Clinic multi-speciality hospital. He was actively involved in the admission and treatment of over 100 COVID cases in the second wave. He's also actively involved in the vaccination program of the government of Goa. Besides that, he's a great humanitarian and has contributed immensely to social causes through the Rotary. Dr. Sandeep, would you like to add something to that?
No, you have said most of the facts. And I thank you for it, Rohan.
Well, that was being modest. Okay, let's start right off the bat with a little bit of an off-topic question. Tell me, Dr. Sandeep, are the saloons going to open next week?
See, the government has
I need to
already
cut my hair.
the government has already announced that the saloons will open from 7 to 6 o'clock in the evening. Now, that's a great relief for the people owning the saloons because they have no source of income at all. But they have to maintain social distancing and they have to double mask themselves. Even the clients will have to double mask to prevent the Delta virus from attacking them. Delta variant.
Thank you,
So it's better to double mask and go to the saloon than to get the coronavirus and come out.
Or maybe put the wife on duty. Okay. Okay, let's get back to seriousness. Tell me, Dr. Sandeep, what are the lessons we as Indians can learn from the second wave?
See, before going to that question, I would like to just tell the public that why the second wave has occurred. Now, let us retrospect and see. See, after the first wave, we had become very complacent, and we thought that we had won the war against the virus. But when there is a war, we have to know that we have to alienate the enemy completely. The enemy must be wiped out, but this didn't occur, and we got carried away and forgot everything and did not do social distancing, did not wear masks. And when the hope of vaccination came, we had refrained from taking the vaccine because thinking that we are immune to the virus. This created a big issue. So what the enemy did, what the virus did, it mutated. And the moment it mutated, it went into the Delta variant, and which was more virulent, and it attacked us. And that's why we lost a lot of my colleagues, my friends to this virus. So these lessons we have to learn, that we have to mask, double masking must be compulsory. Secondly, we must wear proper N95 masks. Also, we should also try, government should try 100% vaccination. And that's what we are trying to achieve. So the lessons is that we must not be complacent at all after the second wave.
So, Dr. Sandeep, the way you're saying is that you feel that there will be a third wave.
Yes, definitely there'll be a third wave.
How do you feel the third wave will start?
See, the third wave will we are getting now a lot in our neighboring bordering states like Kolhapur, Maharashtra, lot of Delta plus variants. Now these Delta plus variants are presenting in various fashions in these states, like they are having vomiting, patients are having vomiting, loose motions, they are having tonsillitis, and these manifestations are being ignored by a lot of our general practitioners. So these patients have to be tested for Delta plus variant before they enter our state. And that's what is being done at our borders by our chief minister. So that's a very good move, because tomorrow, if this Delta plus variant enters our state, they are going to start, the third wave is going to attack us before you can even know what's happening. That's why also we must have a 100% vaccination program. And that's what being done. Even yesterday, there was quite a good response for our vaccination program at the Don Bosco Rotary. So we should conduct these programs in a much rigorous manner, go out, vaccinate our in our villages, and we should achieve 100% vaccination, like the chief minister said, by end of July. And that's the way forward.
I think yesterday we had quite a good response as far as Don Bosco is concerned. I heard there were about 1,500 people who had appeared for the vaccines in the Don Bosco Center
Yeah.
itself in Panjim.
Yes.
So I think it's good news. And today also they're having a continuation of the drive. Yesterday they've given vaccines to people without identity cards. As you know, in India, a lot of people do not have an ID cards. So they give vaccines to a lot of people without ID cards yesterday, and they had a huge turnout. And I believe today they're continuing the drive to give vaccines to people without any ID cards also today. So I'm guessing there'll be a good turnout today as well. Hopefully. Yeah, so Dr. Sandeep, what age group do you feel will be affected the most as far as the third wave is concerned?
See, the problem of the Delta plus variant is that it will be more vicious in its attack. It will, because the infectivity rate with Delta plus variant is very high. So it will attack first those who are not vaccinated. Even that's why our government today is trying 100% vaccination. It will attack pregnant ladies because we have not yet started vaccinating them. Children will definitely be in the limelight, because we have stopped vaccination below the age of 18, and also lactating mothers. But lactating mothers, we are starting vaccinating now. We have included them in their above 18 group. So pregnant ladies, children will be the ones which will be affected most. So we have to, these are the watch out groups.
And see, what should we be doing on a national level, on a state level, on an individual level for the coming of the third wave?
See, at the national level, the ICMR and the National Health Program has started rigorous vaccination. They have decided that they will spend money on vaccination, and that's the only way out. So they're starting vaccinating, giving the government, state government funds for vaccinating, getting a lot of vaccines in due course, and getting with different types of vaccines, so that there is not a deficiency of vaccines. Secondly, they're trying to the detection of the Delta plus variant is necessary, because the moment you detect the Delta plus variant, you have to maintain a containment zone for those population. And that's the way we can, try to seclude this virus. That's on the national level. On the state level, the government is trying to educate the people for vaccination, because educating people, even our Rotary Club has started this program of educating the people, because some people have got taboos for vaccination. They feel that they'll get side effects. They will have in the future they will get some cancer. But then who has seen the future if you don't live to that extent?
Exactly. That is a very
So,
important point.
basically, you should vaccinate. There is no other way, and that's the way, because the only treatment for preventing the virus from getting into you is vaccination. There is no drug which can prevent you. Prevention is the best cure.
Doctor, as you mentioned, there is a lot of vaccine hesitancy. I don't think we will remember because it was before our time, but from what I read, there was also a lot of vaccine hesitancy for the time of the polio virus. When they started the polio vaccinations, I think in 1954, if I'm not mistaken, they started first polio vaccinations. And there was a lot of hesitancy at that time also for polio vaccinations. And what talks were going on at that time, imagine that 70 years ago, were the same talks which are going on today. We do not know the long-term side effects. We do not know, and quite similar talks to what is happening today. We don't know uh, what will happen in the future, and the government is doing this to us, and the government is doing that to us through this vaccine. And now looking back, polio has almost been eradicated from the world, other than a few isolated cases. I think the last isolated case happened in Pakistan a couple of years ago. Polio in practice has almost been eradicated, and I think we must commend the Rotary in this also, because the Rotary has played a very important and crucial role in getting the polio out of existence. And I think we should look forward that the Rotary plays an important role in the eradication of COVID-19 as well. And I don't think, though COVID-19 is harrowing, but the damage it creates as compared to polio, I think polio is quite more debilitating than what COVID-19 is. So I think the future is bright provided we listen. There's another thing I would like to add. Another thing I would like to add is to what Dr. Sandeep already said. See, we have two trends of thought. There are the two extremes. There is the anti-vaxxers, and there is the other end, the people who say vaccinate, vaccinate, like the world depends on it. And both the people are right. Both the people have valid point of views. So my message also to the to people would be, why don't we take the plus point from the extreme, from one side who are the anti-vaxxers, and the other point extreme is probably the pharmaceutical companies who say vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate. Let's take a moderate ground. Let's take the positives from here. Let's take the positives from there, and decide what a moderate ground would be for us. Uh, Doctor, would you like to add anything else? Any closing comments to this very short session of
See,
Q&A?
yeah, Dr. Rohan, see, we have our government and our local bodies, Rotary Club, all are assisting the government for in the vaccination program, and that is very commendable. Just today, there were news that there is a city in US which has undergone 80% vaccination, and in those places now they are seeing lot of people who are old people, young people who have started moving out of their houses, and the ICU beds are being reduced. So we have to go through that end. Otherwise, there's no way that we can win the war against this virus. So there's no
Yeah.
other way.
I think the added incentive is, see, we can accept the truth, we can deny the truth, but the fact is that the vaccinations are all the only way forward. And the added bonus is, if we do get ourselves vaccinated en masse, it doesn't matter that if I go and get the vaccine and my friend and my family gets the vaccine. No, people have to get vaccinated as a community. And once people get vaccinated as a community, as Dr. Sandeep has said, is when we can finally get rid of the lockdowns. Business can go
Yes,
back to normal. We can party again like before. Like you see most of the cities in the US where they have been got a high vaccination rate, they are back to the old ways of pre 2020. But we have to still undergo lockdowns, and probably we are still going to undergo some more lockdowns in the future when the third wave comes. It is very difficult to predict how and when the third wave will come. Any thoughts, Dr. Sandeep, on when the third wave can hit?
No, the third wave will hit maybe another 2 or 3 months, maybe earlier than that, because a lot of Delta plus variants are being detected. So just be very, very careful and we have to maintain these two criteria: one, social distancing, and wearing of mask. Wearing of mask is very crucial. So if the moment we lower our guard, that third wave Delta variant is going to attack us. So we have, and detection is being done in the borders by our state government, and that's a very good move. So we just have to wait, vaccinate, and wait for the third wave. That's the only way out.
So I think we can take 3 takeaways from today's session on the prevention of, basically, the insights on the third wave. The third wave is going to come. There's no doubt about it. We do not know exactly when, but to safeguard ourselves on a personal level and on a community level as well, we have to be doing 3 things. It's going to be a threefold measure: vaccinate, COVID appropriate behavior, and testing. And Dr. Sandeep, could we end on that note?
Yes, okay.
Anything
Thank
to
you,
add?
Ron. No, that's okay. I think you have sent the message across, and we in the Rotary will always assist the government for the vaccination program. Always.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sandeep Kenkre. It was very nice of you to give us your time, and hope to have some more meetings like this in the future.
Sure. Yes, sure, Rohan. Thank you.
If you guys on YouTube, again, like, on Facebook, like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, if you're watching this from YouTube. And yes, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Signing out, Dr. Rohan Fonseca.